I thought I'm taking a ride with my grandkids and I'm watching the road, so the camera's just on. So if I'm not looking directly at the camera, it's because this is the only way I can get some free time to actually make this video. But I wanted to let you know, because some of you that are new and don't know much about me, I'm a mom and I have 10 children. I have 13 grandchildren, 2 of them, a 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old, and a 1.5-year-old is the youngest of my grandchildren. I babysit them like 4 or 5 days a week. And they're with me now, so I took a ride to get them to take a little nap. But we have like 10 children. We have 2 still living at home. I have a 17-year-old and I have an 11-year-old, 17-year-old daughter and 11-year-old son. My husband's in the ministry, and we lived off-grid several times. We went 3 years completely off-grid in our old farmhouse because the electric wiring was so bad. We shut it off, and we thought it was only going to be temporary, so we got it fixed, and it ended up being 3 years, and we loved it. You know, we had the old-fashioned hand pump because we had a shallow well there, spring-fed. And we did it for 3 years, and then we finally got the electric on. Things got better. My husband went back to work because when I had my youngest son, it was just too much to do all that stuff by myself. So we ended up moving out of the farmhouse because it needed a lot of work. And he just didn't have the time to do it, and we didn't have the money to fix it. So anyways, then we bought a house in Medway where we are now, and we also bought a camp. And when I hurt my knee, I damaged my knee a couple of years ago, so we ended up staying at the camp for like, I don't know, about 8 months, and we did off-grid there too. We bailed because there's no electric over there. And my husband and the kids would go like twice a week down to a spring that was nearby, and we get the gallons of water, and we do our showers and do everything that way, boil water and everything. So we did it off-grid, and we learned a lot. And now he's working a lot of hours because of all the properties we own. So I'm trying, and he's a pastor, so he has to work full-time during the week, and he pastors on the weekend. But our church is just a small little country church, and it's mostly just our family. So he has to work because it doesn't bring in an income enough, so he has to work. But he is retired, but he still works because of all these other properties we're trying to sell, the houses, the camp, you know. And so anyways, let me pause that a minute. Well, I guess it doesn't matter, I can edit it out after. But what I wanted to say is that we learned a lot, and I'd like to, you know, teach others. I'm in school right now for holistic medicine. This is my 4th year. I was supposed to be graduating in October. My last semester will be ending in this spring in May. So I'm very busy, and it's very hectic. My daughter's getting married November 11th, so if I don't make a few videos here and there, it'll be just because I'm super busy with the wedding and school and my grandkids. So I want to make a lot more videos. So the videos you'll be seeing will be called, one of them I have under like different video, what's the word they use? Video, I can't think of it. The different files, like you have your like videos and your, why can't I think of it? Anyways, they'll be listed if you go on and subscribe to my channel. And also my PayPal account, if anybody's interested in helping, you want to support the channel, that's fine, you can. If you can't, that's fine, you don't have to. But you'll be seeing maybe some preaching videos from my husband, some videos on wellness, holistic health and nutrition. There'll be cooking videos, gardening videos, my chicken videos. I have chickens. I was so excited. I'm gonna make another video. My friend, okay, she found an incubator, a chicken incubator. It's like worth $129. It does like 40 something eggs. And it was like brand new in the box, and she found it at the dump, and she said, I thought of you, I figured you can use it. And so she gave it to me, and I was like, it's such a blessing from the Lord, because right now we are so strapped with everything, you know, trying to get out of debt and do stuff so we can actually go full-time and just, you know, my husband's retired Social Security. But anyways, it was an amazing gift from the Lord. I praise God, I thank him for that, and I feel like it's like his little step in the direction, because I've been a little discouraged because I've wanted to do the Back to Eden gardening, and I couldn't get wood chips. I put myself on the list. I still couldn't get wood chips. My husband's working too many hours. We went for 2 loads. We couldn't, it's just so much work to get just a little bit of chips. So I ended up buying mulch, bags of mulch, and it worked really good, the all natural mulch, but it's still not enough. We have some orchard trees. We have an orchard. We planted some fruit trees this year, so we're hoping those will take off next year within that. But I'd like to cover that whole area with wood chips. So anyways, that's where we're at right now. It's a little busy, but when the weather gets really cold, see, some people don't like the cold weather. I don't like it to be outside in the real cold weather. I don't mind the mild, because Maine is different than some colder states. In Maine, it's a dry cold, so if you're dressed properly, you don't feel that cold, like, of course, unless it's a wind chill where the wind is really blowing, but it's not damp cold. Like when I lived in Connecticut, it could be 20 degrees and it felt colder there than it does here if it was 0 or 10 below, because it's dry. It doesn't soak into your bones and make you ache. But anyways, I like to hibernate sort of in the winter, and I do my cooking, my canning, my sewing. I like to quilt, and I have an old treadle sewing machine, which I want my husband to bring from our other farmhouse to this smaller one, because we're getting older. It's just 2 kids, so we figured we'd go to this smaller one, you know. But if God ever provided, I would love to get more land, because I'd love to have sheep, and we had goats. We had 13 goats at one time. We used to make goat's milk and cheese. With the goat's milk, we made cheese and stuff. But when my husband went to work full time, I just can't do it all. I just cannot do it all. And I'm watching my grandkids. So, and where we're at now, we had goats, like I'd say 5-6 years ago. And it's only a 1 acre lot, and they just kept getting out and getting in stuff. And it's just like, you gotta have more land. Even, you know, it's just too much. So I figured if the Lord should open that door, and in the future we can maybe get some more land or whatever. If not, you know, I guess when I get to heaven, I'll have my farm. I always wanted to. I don't know. I told my husband, when we get to heaven, I'm gonna have a farm. So, anyways, that's just something I love to do. I love sewing. I just miss those days. When my kids were little, when I stayed home. Sometimes it's better when you don't have a lot of money, because you use your creativity, and it's easier to just take money and go buy something. But it's like when my husband was home full time in the ministry, and we only were taking in $100 a week, and we had to live. But we gardened, we did everything. We you know, people brought stuff like, because he was a pastor, they'd always bring stuff when they were tearing buildings down. I mean, we gave away so many, believe it or not, oil tanks that people needed. They were getting rid of them, and just a lot of different things. But we had family time, and that was what was most precious to me, was time with the kids. And now it's like so crazy and hectic, and I long for that so bad. Again, I really do. I wish he could get done, and I just pray that God would open a door for me to sell my properties, so he doesn't have to work so hard just to pay those mortgages, you know. So if he did, then, you know, it'd be a lot easier. But till then, you know, whatever God's will is, maybe this YouTube channel will take off in the future and help somehow. But anyways, I also did this video because, sorry, my thing is, I'm in the car and that little stand is bouncing, but now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh dear. I guess I'm going to have to edit this, because I'm not going to be able to put it straight up, because I keep forgetting things trying to talk, because my song is on that I love by Lauren Daigle. Anyways, the kids are finally sleeping in the back, which is great. So what else was I going to say? I'll pause this for a minute. I'm back. Okay, what I wanted to say is that a lot of things I did too in the past when we were really struggling is I did couponing. I went on YouTube and I watched every episode of Extreme Couponer, and I stocked up, and we went 2 years that I had stopped doing it because we had nowhere to put stuff. And we went 2 years, and I completely forgot about it until things were getting tight again. And I'm like, there was a girl on Facebook, and she was asking about how to make $100. She only had $100, I think, a month to live on for food, and she didn't know what recipes. And so I said she should coupon. And then I was like, yeah, why didn't I start doing that again? Because a lot of the recycle centers where they throw out the newspapers, you can get extra coupons there and clip them and get them on. There's a girl called One Cute Couponer. I know she's got a funny name, cute name, but she's really smart in teaching how to coupon. And then between that and the Ibotta is like when you buy whatever groceries you buy, because even if you're living off grid, I'm sure you're still going to town for some things. There's some things you just cannot grow. I mean, if you're gonna make, I did the homemade soap, you make your own laundry soap, we did all that. Oh, excuse me, I have to pause it. I did the homemade laundry soap and everything, and that still costs a lot of money. So if you coupon, you can get, I was getting shampoos for 50 cents, Pantene, different brands, and all the name brand stuff. You can get organic stuff, milk, cheeses, yogurts, and you get them for like, if you're really good at it and you studied, you can save $200-300 a week just alone, and that would save you having to go to work if you're a single mom, or a mom just you're struggling. I was bringing in, I told my husband, I said, with couponing, I was bringing in at $300 worth of food, and I wasn't paying barely anything for it. And toilet paper, the same thing. We only use Scott toilet paper in our house because it's the only one that doesn't clog our septic tank. We tried other kinds, we tried to support Great Northern, and it just clogged our tank. So anyways, and the Scott sometimes can be more expensive, but I was getting them really cheap for like the 12 pack, 18 pack for like $3.99, and stocking up when I see the sales and the rebates, and I would just stock up on it to make sure we had enough. And there's just so many things, you know, that you don't have to struggle, and you could be blessed and you can stock up. And like this year, my garden, because I couldn't get the wood chips, I didn't get much. I had damaged my knee, so it was very hard for me to get out and do anything, because I went and I was so mad. I was trying to fix my chicken house outside cage, and I couldn't get it moved, so I kicked it, and I ended up hurting my knee again. So that made me suffer all summer. So I couldn't get much done in my garden. So now I'm couponing to get my canned food. You know, like I did some tomato sauce, but I didn't get enough. I didn't get enough of stuff. And of course, my older kids, they like the stuff, so they take a lot of it too. Excuse me a minute. Okay. So, and I gave them stuff too. I'm back. So anyways, couponing is a great way to save. And if you look, because I try to eat as much natural or organic as I can. Look for that little non-GMO label that's on a lot of canned goods. I know Del Monte is one of the vegetables. I don't usually buy canned, but when it comes to, when we make homemade corn chowder, we use the cans of corn chowder and cream corn, you know, because I tried growing corn every year and I couldn't grow it. I don't know. And then, of course, I planted some this year, and I thought, I'm going to do this right, and my chickens ate the seeds out of the ground because I couldn't get them in. It's just crazy. So anyways, but if you look for that little non-GMO symbol when you're couponing, you know, it's really good. And I noticed, like, if you go to Ibotta is really good. It gives you money back. So if you use your coupon with the Ibotta, that helps get you that discount. And you don't have to shop a lot, but like this time of year, I started stocking up on as much as I could with the canned goods, the tissue paper, the laundry soap, the shampoos, body wash. My kids, you know, they just go through it, and then they come over and they're looking for stuff, they need it. And then I try to help out my son and his wife, so I buy diapers when I can with the coupons for the kids. Lots of cereal, but I try to buy the all natural ones and the healthy ones. I don't buy no General Mills. I'm sorry, but I don't, because they put bug stuff in it it kills bugs. I saw a video on it, and I heard it was on the news too, so I don't buy General Mills cereal. Anyways, there it goes again. It keeps little by little taking the top of my head off. Okay. So anyways, I know I'm rambling on, but I just figured if anybody's interested to know what we're about, and you know, I am behind on my schooling. I have to get caught up because I try to concentrate when I'm tired after babysitting all day. At night, I'll read for like 10 minutes and I'll get tired. So anyways, but after my daughter's wedding, hopefully things will be a lot better. I'll be caught up and I can get situated. But I wanted to show you, like, I wanted to get a video of me making a quilt this, oh my God, this thing. A quilt this winter. Because when I first started quilting and I had that old treadle sewing machine, I paid $30 for it, because that was when we had no electricity. And they sold it to me because the cord that goes around the gears or whatever, that little, I don't know, but my husband put that little, I think it's called PVC PVC tubing or something like that, whatever. But he put that and super glued it and made a belt for it, and it worked. And I did all my older kids when they got married quilts. My daughter was the only one I didn't finish hers because I started getting pregnant again and having more kids. So, and I just couldn't, I just didn't have the time. But now I'd like to start it again. But anyways, when I started quilting, I didn't have a clue how to quilt. And actually it's my daughter-in-law, my grandkids here, her great-grandmother, not her great-grandmother, her grandmother, her father's mother, worked at Walmart, and she was telling me what to do when I went to buy the material, and she kind of explained a little bit. And then when I went home, because I wanted to do the log cabin pattern and I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I was like cutting all these strips, and I prayed and God said just cut long strips and then just keep cutting it as you go around. And I was like, oh my God, and I didn't know if that's how you're supposed to, but that's how God showed me, and I loved it. It was so awesome. And then I taught my daughter how to do it, and now my granddaughter, she's 16, or she just turned, yeah, she's 16, and she quilts and does everything at her age. You know, she does it too. And my girls do. They all have sewing machines. So it's pretty cool. But I like to teach my kids, and you can't teach them anything. Very well. I shouldn't say you can't teach them anything, but you can't. It's hard to teach them those kind of skills if you're working all the time and you're gone. Though my oldest daughter, she does work, but she does do a lot with her kids. She does, because my granddaughter, she does everything. She's cooked. She just got a job working at the bakery and one of the grocery stores in town, working decorating cakes. She's only 16, but she's so smart. So anyways, that's what my family is about. We're just a big family. We're weaning down to 2 kids. My daughter's going to be graduating this year. My 17-year-old, and going off to college, and I'll be stuck with just my little boy, and he's 11. And they all say, oh, when I get older, I won't leave. And they all go away to college or somewhere. But that's part of them growing up. But then I have my grandkids, so they keep me busy. Anyways, I won't ramble anymore too much, but I just wanted to give you some information about us, where we come from, and you know what we do, and you know, I'll make another video again sometime. But if you like this, if you like our channel, check us out, subscribe to my channel, and if you want to contact us, my email, if you'd like to ask any questions about anything, our email is jacobshomestead10kids@yahoo.com. So if you want to write to us, it's jacobshomestead10kids@yahoo.com. And those are kids, not goat kids, our kids. We had 13 goats at one time. We did them for a year. That was fun. And it really brings the scriptures alive when you have animals, because you know when he says they skip like a deer or like a goat or different things in the Bible, you understand it. You really understand. It just opens up the scriptures. It's amazing. I think farming and homesteading is an amazing lifestyle. And that's just ordained by God. So I don't know. I love it. I know what I was going to say before. Another reason I started the videos and the channels is because, like, I have a daughter that lives in New Hampshire. She moved there after she went to college there, and another one that lives in southern Maine, and just kids all over the place. Okay, and I figured, because I'm I was the youngest mom when I was having my first son at 16, and then I was the oldest mom now. So because I still have an 11-year-old at home, and I'm almost 60. I'm 59. And so I wanted to make these videos because, you know, when the kids are younger, they're not as interested in, especially teenage years, of the things like of the natural health and the herbs and my recipes. You know, they were when they were younger, and they used to help me cook a lot. But now they're too busy. And when they get settled and start having kids, like my other daughter, she's already started calling me, asking me about, I'm just trying to pull over here, for recipes. So I figured if I started my recipes, it's kind of like my sort of inheritance to my kids and my grandkids' future. So if the Lord should tarry and we're still here, you know. But being they live so far away, it's like if they want to know how to do something, I can tell them, just subscribe to the channel, go look it up on YouTube, and you'll have step-by-step of all, you know, all the information. I want them to have that. I want my grandkids, now they're little, but in the future, if the Lord should tarry and we're here, which the way things are going, I can't foresee us all. I can't, but being here that long. But anyways, if the Lord should tarry, I want them to have that. I just want it to be there, and I want it to be there to help others. Our whole ministry, my ministry especially, we did food cupboard for like 20 something years, and now I felt like when I was doing the food cupboard, I was feeding people, but most of the time people were taking the junk food that stores were donating, and I just felt like that was not. It's more important to teach people how to survive, to teach people what to do, so they can take care of themselves, because we can't enable people. We're not gonna be there all the time, I mean, yes, there's times when we can help, but we just couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't do the boxes and lifting, and that's when the time, and I stayed in my camp because I got hurt then with my knee lifting heavy boxes. I mean, some of the boxes were like 100 pounds, and there was a lot of good stuff in there, but there was meats and things that stores would donate to give to the church, to give to the people, but there was also a lot of junk food in there, and people were taking the cakes and candies and cookies and stuff made with all that junk that's not good for you. So anyways, that's why I started that. I just wanted to help people and help my kids and give that, so that if they're in a situation and I'm not around or too far away, they can look it up and see what to do if they get sick and they don't have the money to get medicines, and some of the medicines are not even really good for you, that there's natural stuff everywhere. There's a book the Amish have. It was written by an Amish woman. All I know is it's called My Backyard Pharmacy, and if you can get a hold of that, I don't know if they'd ever have any on eBay or not, but I bought mine from the Amish store. But that was a big wake-up call. It was just like when God says, your eyes are open, it's like he really does give us everything we need if we would just open our eyes and look around, but it's because we don't know. He says we have not, because we ask not, but we don't know either. Knowledge is important too. So once I knew and I could identify those herbs and medicines that were everywhere, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's everywhere. There's all kinds of, like, you watch these shows and people are like these survival shows, and they're out in the woods and they're trying to survive and they can't catch a fish and they're struggling, and they got pine trees all around them. They got all this stuff that's edible around them, and they don't know they can eat it. Pine needles, okay, from a pine tree. That is so good especially for goats. If they get worms or bloat or anything like that, they eat the pine. The pine needles are so good for them. So if you have goats, it's good to give them some pine needles, branches once in a while. It's very healthy for them. And as a human, pine needle tea is so loaded in vitamin C. I have a video out there about pine needle. It's on one of my other channels. I think it's the Lori Jacobs. Just look up Lori Jacobs or Lori 10 Kids and you'll find it. And there's a whole information about the pine, how good it is for you. And you'd think it would taste like, pine sol or something, but it doesn't. It tastes like, almost like lettuce. It doesn't really have a flavor. It's like iceberg lettuce. It just doesn't really have a flavor. So it makes a good tea, and you can mix it with other things that make it tasty that you like, or just that plain with honey, but it's really good. And it's so full of vitamin C, and they said that's what the Indians taught the pilgrims when they came, because they were all dying of scurvy because they had no vitamin C. And the Indians taught them to drink pine needle tea, and that because it's so high in vitamin C. So there's so many things to learn, but I'll be teaching little by little on all these different things, because it is part of homesteading. You need to take care of your family physically, not just for food, but for if they get sick, and you need to know what to do. And I think it's good to know. That was one of my reasons for going to school for holistic medicine, was mostly that I want to know what to do if something happens. I want to be trained and know what to do. I don't know what's going to happen in these last days. People, they like to make fun of it, but we are living in the last days. A lot of things the Bible said that was going to happen is happening in this world. All you have to do is read Revelation and a lot of it, and it's like reading the newspaper sometimes. So I just want to be prepared, and that's what so it is a form of prepping, but it's not. It's being prepared. The Bible, Jesus said, look, go to the ant thou sluggard, and he stores up for the winter. I had a dream the yeah, well, it wasn't really a dream. I was doing all this stocking up, and I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had this thought in my head, and I heard it, and I felt like it was from God. And he said, and it was so weird. It was just, it said, what I heard was, flying squirrels are quite amazing. They really know how to store up for the winter. That's all I heard. And I'm like, where did that come from, Lord? And so I started studying flying squirrels, and they were saying that they're like a genius. They know how to store up and to make sure that they have food so they don't get weak. And they also are not like the gray squirrels. They'll bury their food but forget where it's at. But they know exactly what to do. They're very smart. And I don't know if it was from God or if it just where it came out of my head. But I woke up and that thought, that exact sentence was in my head. So if you think and you're having doubts saying, am I crazy doing this? Because a lot of people will make you feel like you're crazy, or you shouldn't be doing this, or why are you so worried about this? It's not being worried. It's it's called peace of mind. If you have house insurance or car insurance or anything else, it's peace of mind. You want to make sure when you have a family, you're taking care of them. You want to make sure, especially with children, you want to make sure when you love your family, you take care of them. So anyways, just thought I'd add that in. But thank you. Subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up and have a blessed day.